How's it going, everyone? Brett from the Nerds with Chainsaws podcast. This is going to be part 2 of our episode from last week. We ended up going a little bit over on time-wise, so I decided to split it up into 2 episodes. In this part, we're going to be discussing some new motorcycles coming out for the 2025 model year from all of the major manufacturers and getting a little bit more into my new bike since I was finally able to pick that up. So anyways, guys, enjoy the episode and we will see you next week. Unless you want to do a long episode, because I do have one more topic I kind of wanted to talk about.
All right, what's up?
I wanted to talk about new motorcycles because most of the major manufacturers have announced their new motorcycles for 2025 model year, and I've also gotten a lot more riding time in on my new bike, so I kind of want to talk about that.
What's Cowie's lineup looking like? Is that fucking gold 4x4s?
What? I actually haven't looked at Kawasaki. I've looked at Honda and Yamaha, but I haven't seen what Kawai's doing.
The fucking... Just on their main page. It's like the second tab. It's the ridges. They're like fucking gold.
I think it's just the lighting. But yeah, they do look gold. So those are actually cool. That's not motorcycle related, but those are cool. Yeah, it's their new side-by-sides. They have like a pretty much a standard car inline 4 engine, just a little smaller. And like a lot of cool features. So if you want side-by-side, take a look at those. No, for motorcycles, I really don't know what Kawi is doing too much.
I mean... Okay, well that one's new. Ninja 1100 SX.
Is that one new?
Yeah, they have never done an 1100.
Sure.
The Ninja 1000s existed. And they've done a Z11, I think, but not a Ninja 11. Like a ZX11.
Yeah, that one is new. Nice. So they got a 1100cc.
They re-upped their 4R, which I think is hilarious, and I really want one.
The
CX4R.
Yeah, they had a 4RR, I thought.
Yep, if you click on it.
Yeah, there we go.
That is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, those things are awesome. Those came out last year, right? I think.
The original ZX4RR came out in like the 90s.
Oh,
yeah. Got rid of it. And yeah, then they dropped.
It's because they couldn't meet emission standards.
They dropped the new ones last year, and they still just are stupid. Fucking redline at 20,000, like dumb bikes, but I really want one.
That ZX4RR 40th anniversary edition from last year, that thing looks so fucking good. I would 100% get one if it could do highway a little better. Just because they're ridiculous.
The blue is weird to me with the green.
That's just their standard, like back in the day paint job. That's just what all their bikes looked like, and I really like it.
Yeah, it just looks weird to me though. Like I like the normal KRT with the white, black, and like yellow, orange. I like that, but the blue is like it's such a stark difference to the green, which I know is done on purpose.
I don't know, it just really reminds me of those old bikes from like the 90s. Not that I was even alive then, but I don't know. It makes me think of like the old like racing movies and stuff, like old NASCAR, just old racing in general, and I like that.
Yamaha
So
motorcycle.
Yamaha has been doing some weird shit. They discontinued the R6,
Yep, they did that I think last year.
and it is now the R7, which the videos I have seen of the R7, most people don't really fucking like it. It is a
It's
it's a
worse than the R6.
yeah, it is worse by the R6 in just about every aspect. It's a twin, and it's not great. But they also just announced the R9, which might make up for that, but it does cost a couple thousand more. So the R9, I'm guessing, is. I honestly haven't really looked at it. The MT09 motor just on a sport bike frame. Which the MT09
Is it a
motor.
triple?
I think so.
It is. It's the CP3.
Yeah. Which is an insanely good motor. That thing
It is. That's why I want an MT09.
Yeah, the MT09 motor is like probably the best sounding performing motor you can get on the market right now. It is insanely good. And putting that
I
as
definitely think it's the coolest triple on
yeah,
the market.
100%. But yeah,
Like this will be a hot take. I think that triple is better than like the street triple, like Triumphs.
probably.
It won't sound as mean, but I think it's good. I think it's better.
I th- the Triumph Street Triple has been around for a long time, so I don't know 100% for sure on reliability, but I know Triumphs in general, just like most other European bikes, have worse reliability than the Japanese manufacturers. So that's going, and I already know for a fact that the what is it, CP3? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, the CP3 power plant. That thing's been in production for several years now, and that thing is fucking bulletproof.
Oh, it's been more than this than several. When did the CP3 engine come out? I think the CP3's been around for fucking a long time.
It's the same motor they have in the Tracer 9, the bike I really, really fucking wanted, but it was just a little too expensive for me at the moment. It's now in the R9. It's in the MT09. It is a solid fucking power plant to put in bikes, especially
2013.
13. So yeah, it's been a lot. Coming up on fucking we're over 10 years.
It's been up for 11 years. So not as long as I thought. I thought it was out. I thought the CP3 was like rolling around since like 2000, but I was wrong.
It's a solid motor. It's been around for a long time, and I've literally never heard anyone say it's had reliability problems.
No, it's a great engine.
But yeah, that's what Yamaha's doing. Don't like the R7. I really don't think it should honestly probably exist. Looking at like spec wise, it's really underpowered. I think they should.
No, it is really dumb.
It doesn't make sense to have it. Like, it's a step up from the R3 I get, but it's not much of a step up for the price jump. You might as well save a couple of grand more and get the R9. That's way better.
I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to start a new market because the thing is, like, the 600 class Super Sport is a dying market. It's not. It's weird that it's a dying market because it's like one of the most sought after markets, but nobody is making a fucking bike for it except for Cowie, and Cowie has been dominating the 600 for like 20 years, so everyone just fucking gave up.
It's not a dying market as in the consumers don't want it. It's a dying market as in regulations, like emissions regulations, is what's killing it. Especially in Europe, from what I've heard, the emissions regulations in Europe are insanely strict, and that's why the R7 had to go to a twin engine is to meet emission regulations in Europe.
I mean, anymore, like, the 636 is just about the only, like, still surviving 600 class super sport.
It seems like I know several other manufacturers have done this, have just axed the like 300cc class entirely, and I think that's probably what Cowie should do. They should axe the R3 and the R7 and replace it with like an R5. Because Kawasaki has 500cc bikes.
Okay, but their 500 is fucking weird, so...
It is weird. It's what they market as a beginner bike, and it really is, if you look at like the horsepower and stuff like that. The Ninja
like, what
500.
they did was fucking... They had the 300, which is what I rode. And then... like 2 years, maybe?
They had that for a couple of years, yeah. Then they got rid of
Well,
it.
I think 2 years after I got my 300, they went to the 400. And they only let the 400 exist for like 2 years before they were like, nah, we don't like that anymore. 5. And it's like, what the fuck are they doing?
They're trying to meet emission standards is what they're doing. And it's easier with a bigger engine, somehow.
The hybrids are weird. I don't know how I feel about
I
the hybrids.
don't know how I feel about the hybrids. They are very expensive for what they are. I think
Like,
it's a
is
very
the
cool
E1 fully
concept.
electric?
No. Oh, actually,
E1
the
is.
E1 might be, yeah.
It is fully electric, and if you look at its specs, it is very lacking to even just the 500. I guess it's kind of a slow bike. Which seems opposite to what electric should be. Like, electric should be instant torque, get you up to speed, like, pretty good.
You're gonna lack speed to make up for range.
Yeah, like this right here. They have 2 power modes, road and eco, plus a boost mode. On road mode, it will only let you get to 55 mile an hour, 65 with boost. So you are paying $8,000 for a top speed of 65.
Yeah, that's not great.
I know top speed ain't everything, and a lot of people could... There's a good amount of people that could give a shit less about top speed because they'll never hit it. But you're gonna hit it on this. Like, that's highway speed, not even.
But, yeah, like I was saying, though, like, Kawasaki, at least on their Ninjas, well, I think in the Zs too, and most of their bikes, they have just completely gotten rid of, like, the low displacement ones and replaced them with 500cc and up. And I think that's really what Yamaha should probably do, is just get rid of the R7, get rid of the R3, and make, like, a 500-ish cc sport bike for just around town and stuff. I think that'd be a lot better than the R7 and the R3 as 2 separate bikes. Just go in the middle and make a something that's good for beginners, just with a little more displacement and a little bit lower price tag. Because the R7's $9,200, the R3's $5,400. If you can go like $6,000-$7,000 range, it's still within the price range of most beginners, hopefully. But you're going to be getting a bike that's a lot more capable.
I have a zero need for the 500, and I'll never have the 500, but that looks cool. That looks very nice. I sent both the colors in the chat.
Yeah, those do look nice.
Those look very nice. Still got the fucking traffic cone exhaust on them, but...
Yeah, that's kind of hard to avoid anymore.
Desperate need of a new exhaust on that one, but it is nice. That's kind of the MT-09. I really like the way they did their exhaust, even though I think it looks stupid as shit. but with the way they did it, you don't even see it. Like, you barely see the exhaust on it, but if you actually look at the design of the exhaust, you're like, that looks fucking dumb as hell. But it's done that way on purpose to make it sound really nice. Like, do you see what I'm talking about? I'll post an image of it. Oop. The exhaust doesn't come up the tail at all. It just stays down low. And it comes out on both sides. But in doing so, there's just this fat fucking rectangle underneath the bike that looks stupid as hell.
Sorry, my earbuds were being stupid. Okay. Yeah. It does. It looks kind of funky.
It does, but it puts the exhaust out both the left and right, so it sounds better to you. It keeps the exhaust nice and tucked underneath everything.
Yeah.
It's also got those weird, like, vents in the gas tank to give you, oh, it's a special sound. It's a special word. Intake noise. You get intake noise.
Oh, yeah.
And my dad was trying to talk to me on, because his bike does the same thing. He's like, "Did you hear it? Did you hear the intake noise off the bike?" I'm like, "I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the fuck I'm listening for, so no." So I can't tell the difference, but to somebody with a better ear than I have, I'm sure it does.
No, the other company I wanted to talk about is Honda. Honda's got some new stuff. I don't know if you've looked at any of their bikes recently.
I hardly ever look at Honda.
Same. But they actually got some cool stuff. They have a new 125cc bike. The DAX 125. It's a... what is it? It's not like the trail... It's like one of their little trail bikes from back in the day. It's based off of that. It looks really cool. Africa Twin, that's always been around. Or not always been around. It's fairly new, but... And the main thing I wanted to talk about for Honda actually still offers a CBR 300, which is kind of cool. But they also offer the 500s as well. But they don't have a... And the 600RR 650. So they don't have like a 700 class like Yamaha does for their sports bikes. But anyway, the main thing I want to talk about with Honda is their new Rebels. So when the Rebels first came out, it was just the Rebel 300 and the Rebel 500. And fucking everyone, every single person was like, man, this is a good bike if it had more engine power. And a couple of years back, I think, maybe a year or two, it wasn't super long ago, they introduced the Rebel 1100. And then I'm pretty sure just this year, could have been last year too, I don't know for sure, I don't really keep up with Honda, they introduced the Rebel 1100T, which is the touring model, and it has a fairing and saddlebags and all that, and it's a really cool looking bike actually, and it's not super expensive either. It's $10,800 for 1100cc cruiser with saddlebags, windscreen, all that. And I think it looks really cool.
It's like the cost of my MT.
It's got the hard cases. They're keyed same to the bike. It's got full windscreen. I just think it's a good bike. It looks like, honestly, it reminds me of like a Harley fucking Road Glide for like a quarter of the fucking price. So if you're interested in the cruiser route, that might be something to look at.
Now you're talking about Honda doing like I've never seen this bike because I never look at Honda. This thing's fucking stupid. The Fury.
Oh, yeah, that one's meant to look like a chopper.
Oh, it looks awful.
Yeah, choppers are... I don't like them.
They're disgusting.
They're not good.
It's shaft driven.
The Fury is?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I mean, that's kind of cool.
Shaft driven's really nice for vehicles you want to go long distance on.
Well, there's like...
because of low maintenance.
There's like no maintenance you have to do on it.
I wouldn't want to go long distance on a Fury, though.
Yeah,
just being honest.
There's just nothing appealing about this to me, and I know I'm not the market for the fucking Fury. They're not trying this. They're not going to be heartbroken that I don't like the Fury. But man, that just looks dumb. I don't get the appeal of choppers at all.
No, I really don't like them either. The other cool looking Honda bike is the new Shadows. I've actually seen a couple of these in person. They look nice. The Shadows have always looked nice, but the new ones, especially, the little refresh they did, like they haven't changed much. It's still a Shadow, very very much through and through. It's a Shadow, but with the Shadow Phantoms and the Shadow Shadow Arrows. Is that right? Yeah. I haven't seen an Arrow, but I've seen a Phantom. And they look really nice in person. And they sound really good, too. One of Cassie's friends actually has one.
Lucas used to drive a Shadow.
Lucas used to drive a Shadow. They're really good bikes.
Now, his was a little different because his dad fucking bored out the muffler, but...
Yeah.
I think it was loud as piss after he did that, though. Jesus Christ. Set car alarms off loud as piss.
Yeah, it was loud. No, and then on Honda, they're like adventure dual sport bikes. Transalp, I've heard, is a really good bike. Same with the Africa Twin. Stupid expensive, though.
Oh, Africa Twin's like a staple in the adventure world.
I was really hopeful for the Transalp, but for the price, you can get better. It starts at $10,000, and it comes with nothing. Where you can get a Suzuki V-Strom 800 DE Adventure with the hard cases, the windshield, the skid plate, accessory hookups for power, all that for like $1,000 less. It really does not make much sense to me to get a Transalp. But that's kind of just Honda in general. You're going to be paying a little bit more money up front for like less of a bike, but you're basically paying for the name brand recognition and the reliability, because Honda engines are fucking known for being just indestructible.
Well, it could just be the technology in it too. I don't know anything about it.
No,
so.
Not really.
No,
it's pretty standard. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I don't know. I like Honda, but some of their, like, the bikes I tend to like the more adventure-oriented bikes. It's kind of hard for me to make a case for them. There's just better options available for cheaper.
I've never been much of a Honda guy. There really has only been a handful of Honda bikes that I've looked at and I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's nice. Like, They're higher end CBRs, especially like the Fireblade.
Yeah, those are cool.
That's a nice fucking bike. $30,000, but that's a nice bike. So yeah, Honda's not something I've ever wanted to get into.
The one other motorcycle company that I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you've heard of them. Have you heard anything about CF Moto?
I think I've heard the name, but I don't really know what they do.
So CF Moto is fairly new to the U.S. market, and they are a Chinese manufacturer. They actually broke into the U.S. market selling ATVs and side-by-sides, but they have started selling motorcycles now too, and they are like incredibly cheap for what you get. But caveat, they're made in China.
Chinese.
Yeah. But
I think I've heard of them because of our frickin' janitor. He's got some Chinese fucking bike. It might be a CF Moto.
from what I've heard, even though they're made in China, and you know, Chinese isn't for at least for motor vehicles, not great. That's their reputation. They're not great. From what I've heard about them, though, they've been pretty reliable, and they can sell shit for fucking cheap as hell. Like their sport bikes, their 700 class sport bike, 675cc, $8,000.
Yeah, see that?
Their adventure bikes, like the Ibex 450, the Ibex 800E, really cheap, and I've heard they're really good. Like super capable off road, have a lot of cool technology on them.
I like their little pit bikes. They look hilarious.
The mini street ones.
Yeah, the Papio.
I've seen one of those actually. The dealership where I bought my Ducati at had a couple of them. They look hilarious. I really wanted to drive one.
They do look hilarious. I think I'd get one just to fuck around on.
Dude, they look like like the Papio looks like a fucking adventure bike, but just like super miniature, like adorable, and the SS one looks like a fucking old like 80s sports bike, just like super tiny. They're hilarious.
It looks like a little cafe racer.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're the same price as a Honda Grom. And I'm pretty sure they have
clip-ons.
I'm pretty sure they have more technology on them too, if I'm being honest.
Clip-ons, quarter fairing, underbody fairing. A bunch of hooks for random bullshit.
LED lights, 9.5 horsepower. There we go.
ABS.
A tank screen kit? What the hell? They have ABS? Damn, that's more than a Grom has. You can get Groms with ABS, but it's an upcharge. But anyway, yeah, I was going to see if you had heard about these guys, but...
I have maybe heard of their name. I need to see what fucking bike Jim rides. It's some weird Chinese dirt bike. Yeah, I've not heard of much of anything else other than their names.
I was like, they look cool. And from what I've seen like on YouTube, they seem reliable and like good bikes, but I don't 100% trust everything I see on YouTube anymore, especially with people who like review a bunch of bikes. It's like, okay, are you actually impressed with this bike, or are you just impressed with it because you're riding it for free at their press event? Because they fucking flew you out to a 5-star hotel up in the mountains to go ride this bike specifically and say good things about it. So it's like, I want to see if I can find like some good, like honest reviews, like people who've actually bought them with their own money and what they think about them. And the other thing was, I can't find any reviews on these things that people have had them for like over 1,000 miles. It's like, oh, this is my long-term review. I've ridden 1,000 miles on this thing. It's like 1,000 miles isn't a lot in the long run. Like my first bike I got, the Z125 Pro, I have like 7,000 miles on that thing. I've had that thing for years. That I would consider a long-term review. 1,000 miles I don't really consider like a long-term review. You can get a lot of riding done in 1,000 miles, but I don't think you really like know the reliability of the bike in that time frame.
Yeah, no. Things don't start breaking until after then.
Like I got $7,000 miles on the Z. Shit's starting to break, and that's kind of upsetting me. Like I'm having electrical issues. I'm having the O2 sensor on the exhaust issues. I'm having starter issues. It's like, goddamn, I really don't have that many miles on this bike, and it's kind of upsetting. Like nothing should be super hard to fix, but I shouldn't be having to fix things that early.
I mean, 7,000 miles on average, that's 3 years. Things can start to break after 3 years.
And, I mean, I'm not, like, super upset about it, because, shit, it was a $3,200 bike. It was a cheaply built bike, and I knew that going in. It's a 125cc little fucking mess-around bike, and I pushed that thing hard. So I'm not, like, super upset about it, but still, it's like, come on. I kind of wish I would have got more than that. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm waiting to see on CF Moto stuff is, all right, people who like actually bought one and have ridden it more than, you know, a couple 100 miles or a couple 1,000 miles, like how reliable are these actually? And if they end up being like good reliable bikes, well then shit, that's another like really nice option now because they're way cheaper than most other bikes are for the same class.
No, I don't think I can trust a Chinese bike.
I don't know. My opinion on Chinese manufacturing is there is a lot of it is junk stuff, but
in the mystical world of guys, but
there is some Chinese manufacturers that make good stuff, like DJI, for example.
Yeah, but it's not motorcycles. It's not vehicles.
It's not engines and stuff, but you know how many cheap, shitty Chinese drones there are?
Oh, I know.
I was like, there's a lot of cheap, shitty Chinese bikes, but if one manufacturer can get it good, I'll fucking trust them. Like, all of DJI products I have ever bought have been excellent. And that's a Chinese manufacturer. So, I don't know. You definitely got to do your research, and that's kind of why I'm waiting to see if some more long-term reviews come out on it, like, for overall reliability and stuff. It's like, I'm not going to trust them right out of the gate, but if there's, like, a proven track record that they're good, then I'll probably trust them to be good. And the other thing with CF Moto is they got into a lot of other dealerships. So, like I said, the Ducati dealership where I got the Multistrada, they're also a CF Moto dealership. They're CF Motos in like Honda dealerships. That they have a really good dealer network actually. So if something does happen to go wrong on it, there's a lot of places you can take it to get it fixed and taken care of. Oh, but anyway.
Yeah,
Probably a good place to wrap her up, so.
Yeah.
Yep, so anyways, I'll probably break this one up into 2 parts, so we've gone, we're almost at an hour and 40 minutes, so yeah, I'll break this up into 2 parts for you guys, and then next week, I don't know. Next week for us, maybe? I don't know. we'll see. We might take another week off, depending on how shit goes. But
No kidding.
we'll talk to you guys in a couple of weeks here. So for you guys, it'll be 2 weeks. For us, I don't know when we'll be talking next, but yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah, see you guys.